Alright, so here goes video number 2, picking up with so number 4, the picture with the border. Alright, so we are going to, it says a picture is copied onto a sheet of paper with that is 10 inches by 12 inches. So that's the whole paper. And there's a 2-inch margin is left all around the picture. So we're going to be asked to find the length, width, and area of the picture and to show our work. Alright, so just because that is really kind of small, we have here's our piece of paper. It's 12 inches by 10 inches. And in here is going to be our picture. So what it's telling us is that there is a 2-inch border. So right here is going to be 2 inches, right? Right here is going to be another 2 inches. Okay, so if I'm taking away 2 from each side, from the 12, that must mean that the picture itself is 8 inches wide. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with, let's make sure we get this right, okay? So I'm taking that away from the 10. So that means that this is going to be 6 inches wide. Okay, same idea. There's going to be 2 inches here, 2 inches here. So our up and down measurement, our height, is going to be, so that's going to be our 8 inches. So take away 2 and then another 2. So 8 inches. Okay. So the length of the picture, so that's going to be length, that's going to be width. Length of the picture is going to be 8 inches. Width of the picture is going to be 6 inches. The area of the picture is going to be, well, we're going to find our area. That's going to be 6 times 8. And that'll be equal to 48 inches squared. Alright, so all we're doing is taking away the 2-inch margin all the way around. So taking away 2 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom, you're left with 6 inches. Take away 2 inches from each side, you're left with 8 inches. That's how big the picture is. Multiply those two lengths together and you have your area. Okay, so now we have to think about, you have to go ahead and think back to our spaghetti triangles, right? We want to know if we can make exactly one, more than one triangle, or no triangles. All right. So what we learned from our spaghetti triangle is that if the two smaller lengths are greater than the largest length, then we can make a triangle. All right. So let's see this. So 2 plus 3, that is going to be equal to 5, right? 5 is greater than 4, so yeah, we can make a triangle. Now we have to think about if we can make more than one triangle or not. Well, I think I could go ahead and draw these in a couple different ways, right? I can put my 2-inch right there, 3-inch here, 4, right there. Okay. Is that going to be a little bit different if so I put my 3 right here, and so it's not, that one doesn't quite look right, but if I started with my 3, and then 4, this will be my 2. So we can definitely make a triangle. Now we have to decide, is it going to be really more than one different type of triangle? It sure seems like we can rearrange them in different ways, but really this is just going to be the one triangle. We're just kind of changing the orientation of how it's spun around. So you know, we can make, just that one triangle. And, I know this because the two shorter sides are greater than the long side, okay? Alright, so now we're looking at given lengths of 4, 1, and 10. So let's add these up. So 4 plus 1 is going to be equal to 5. 5 is not going to be greater than 10. So right now we know we can't make any triangles because our triangle inequality does not work. So I know that I choose my answer because the two short sides are not greater than the long side. So the only time that you could say that you have more than one triangle is when they let one of the lengths be kind of a variable, right? So if you had some play with one of the lengths, if we could change, say if we could change that 4 to a couple different things, then that's when we could have more than one triangle. But as we're kind of stuck here, we're going to be left with just just what we have. Okay. All right, so continuing on, we're going to circle the cross-section of the rectangular pyramid. So the rectangular pyramid that is cut parallel to the base, all right? So first of all, let's go and get rid of anything that is not a rectangular pyramid. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Not a pyramid. And we want it to cut parallel to the base, all right? So we know parallel lines are never going to cross, all right? Well, if a plane, parallel lines never going to cross. Well, in this case, the plane is not going to ever cross with the base. Well, we can get rid of this one right here because that is going to cross right there with the base. And then leaving us with this, okay? So parallel, not ever going to cross. And then the next thing it's asking us is to name the shape of the cross-section. Well, what shape is this? That is a square. All right. So, oops, skipped ahead a little bit. So below is a diagram of a wrestling mat. What is the area of the innermost circle? What is the circumference of the outermost circle? And we're going to approximate pi as 3.14. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with area. Okay, area is going to be equal to pi times radius squared. So we know radius is that distance from the center to the edge, right? So if this distance is 10 feet, my radius is going to be 5 feet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Pi times radius squared, our radius is going to be 5. Pi times 5 squared, that'll be 25 times 3.14. And if we do the math right there, 25 times 3.14, we should end up with 78.5 feet squared. So now the second thing we're going to be looking for is going to be circumference. So circumference is going to be equal to pi times the diameter. So circumference of the outermost circle. So that's that outside circle. So we're going to be measuring our circumference across there. Well, they gave that to us. That is going to be 28 feet. So it'll be pi times 28, or 28 times 3.14. If we do that math, should end up with 87.92 feet. So that's a linear distance. It's just the distance around. Right. So now we're going to be going on to volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, so volume of a rectangular prism. So 2 feet by 3 feet by 6 feet. Well, we're going to start out with, you can find the area of the base. Okay? So the base, we can call that this bottom section here, that bottom rectangle. So we can find that area. And volume is going to be the area of the base multiplied by the height. Well, the area of that base is going to be 3 feet times 6 feet multiplied by the height, which is 2. So 3 times 6, that is going to give us 12, that is 18. 18 multiplied by 2, and you should end up with 36 feet cubed. It's going to be feet cubed because we're measuring it in 3 dimensions, okay? So 36 feet cubed. All right. So moving on here. All right, so now this is going to be a little bit more work. So we're going to find the surface area of this thing. So we're going to start out, you could draw a net of this thing if that's going to help you keep track. Or if you can keep track of each of the faces, you can do that. So first we're going to find the area of this. So I'm going to call that the area of the front. And keep doing that in red. So that'll be 2 times 3. That's going to be 6 feet. I'm going to mark a little 6 right there so I know that. Or 6 feet squared. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the side. So that'll be 6 feet by the 2 feet up and down. We'll call that side. That'll be 6 times 2, or 12 feet squared. All right. And then finally, I need the top. So that'll be 3 feet by 6 feet. So 3 feet by 6 feet, 18 feet squared. So now I need to count up all of them because there's going to be 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these. So 2 times 6 plus 2 times 12 plus 2 times 18. That'll be, I keep wanting to do that. That is 12 plus 24 plus 36. If we add this all together, 12 plus 24 is 36. 36 plus 36 should be 72 feet squared. So that's the entire surface area of the box here. All right. So now going to be a little bit of problem. Going to be solving this problem. Right? So I'm telling you what the volume is. So 50 feet squared is the volume. And the volume is going to be the area of the base multiplied by the height. So volume is 50 feet cubed. We can find the area of the base. That's by that 2 by 5 foot rectangle. So that's going to be equal to 2 times 5. And we're left over with our h, right? We don't know what h is. We're trying to figure that out. Well, 2 times 5 is going to give us 10. So we're left with 10h is equal to 50. So divide by 10. And h is going to be equal to 5. Okay. So I think last video for the last one will be done.